If you remember a few months back, we got a chance to bake with Sweet Spot Studio, but now the owner, Jossie, has made quite the feat by competing on last night's episode of Food Network's Christmas Cookie Challenge.
That's right. Okay, so now we have Jossie herself here with us to show us or tell us how to decorate the perfect cookie for Santa and all your holiday parties. But first of all, let's talk about your appearance last night, because you just told me you applied for 4 years to be on the Food Network.
I did. I've been applying every year since 2020.
Oh my gosh. So tell us about the process.
It actually started in February. So this has been a really long year of secret keeping. So there's a few different rounds of interviews. And then I went out to Burbank in April to film. And then I've had to keep my secret ever since.
I'm sure you're so glad to finally be able to talk about it
Oh,
now, right?
it's such a I mean, getting my staff to be able to prepare for this season without being able to tell them anything was ridiculous.
Were they like, what's going on here?
This past week when we were rolling thousands of cookies, I was like, I promise it's worth it. I promise.
There's a reason why. So speaking of that, you know, you were very successful on last night's episode. So tell us about what went down. For those who didn't get to see the episode, what happened?
So our first challenge, we had to do a large billboard cookie. So mine was for the Sugar Plum Jam Company. It had to be something for the North Pole.
That's so
cute. So I had like a flying jam fairy with wings. And so I did win the first challenge. And I won a $500 gift card and a $500 chocolate suite from Ghirardelli.
Oh, we like a Ghirardelli's, okay.
I did get an advantage in the second round, and then the second round we had to build a 2-foot train with at least 3 cars, and then I won that challenge.
Oh, killing it.
Okay,
I have a question about cooking making. So earlier in the show, Liza and I showed ourselves making cookies at the Ronald McDonald House. I made a gingerbread house a couple nights ago. I have a question about the frosting.
Yes.
How do you get it accurate when you're doing those details?
So royal icing, I describe it as a list of suggested ingredients.
Okay.
It's all about environment.
Oh.
So we actually have a class called Cookie Decorating Deep Dive where we basically just focus on making the icing, because if it's raining outside in July in North Carolina versus a dry day in December,
that affects
completely
it?
different.
Interesting.
Completely
'Cause
different.
my icing for the gingerbread was very like soft.
You have to know the temperature variables and all of that, but once you get that, it is.
And baking really is science. That's the thing.
is.
There's so much science to it, and you have trained so long for this, so it makes sense that you won this whole thing. So when it comes to learning how to bake, if somebody is like an aspiring baker, wants to be just like you, what would you say to them? How long should they expect this process to be to get where you are?
Honestly, it just depends on your passion level. Our classes, you don't need any experience.
That's great.
We list on our website if you do need experience, and we try to make everything extremely beginner friendly. And my thing is, I want to demystify baking and make people not intimidated by it, because it is not as exact as you think it needs to be. And so we just try to create a really zen, supportive learning environment.
Well, you've been a winner for a long time, but congrats on officially being the winner. And for people who want to take classes from you, how can they get in touch?
Sweet Spot Studio, CLT.com.
Fantastic.
Happy
You got a
holidays.
fun event on Monday. Make sure you go and check it out. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.